have a set of guiding principles. The preconceptions and generalizations regarding fundamental issues of one's life and of the entire world. No matter where we go, no matter what we do, we tend never to abandon our beliefs. These are things Prospector believes on Rock 107.
The person who invents a device that allows us to talk to our pets will be the world's first trillionaire. When he wrote 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, Paul Simon missed Get on Your Bike, Mike, and board the next train, Shane. One of the signs of the rapidly approaching end of days is the fact that it now takes longer to find and settle on something to watch than it does to eat your dinner while watching it.
Well, now we know the reason he turned out the way he did. That was Things Prospector Believes on Rock 107. Breaking the news that's already broken. It's time for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
A happiness researcher says you can never have too much money. And would you believe it? It helps if you're good looking too. Robert Downey Jr. will return to the Avengers franchise to play the villain Dr. Doom. He was lured back to it when he read the script and noticed it was stapled to a check for $50 million. Dallas Cowboy quarterback Dak Prescott turns 31 today. He'll celebrate by passing slices of his birthday cake to the wrong team.
Prospector ruins everything, even the news. Tune in tomorrow for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
Thankfully, they were worse at shooting than they were at driving. It's Prospector Show on Rock 107. And Kait, let's talk about road rage. Do you have that in you? Have you ever been in a road rage incident?
Not a major incident, but this Saturday it popped out a little bit, and I had to apologize to my friends who were in the car. Like it's there.
We all think I have that where it could just boil up in us and all that, but sometimes it can go too far. I mean, when you're stuck in traffic, suddenly you're convinced the guy in the next lane is like personally responsible for every problem you have in life, and the car turns into like that tiny metal boxing ring, and like, okay, here it comes. I'm the champ. I'm going at it.
Why do I feel like there's a rant coming
You know
on?
what? I don't know if it's a rant or not, but I got something to say. You saw the incident on Interstate 80 in Monroe County, right?
Very briefly on the news, yeah.
So two cars collide, and instead of exchanging insurance information, these two folks decide to settle their differences like it's the Wild Wild West. Oh. They jump out of the vehicles, guns a-blazing. Woo! Yosemite Sam there. So I don't know what about you, but when I get into a fender bender, my first thought isn't, you know what would solve this? A shootout.
A firearm.
Yeah. But here's the kicker. No one gets hurt.
Oh.
Not a scratch.
Okay.
The yam bags were shooting at each other from what I can only assume is close range, and yet they mercifully cannot hit a target.
Well,
look, the best part, the whole stretch of 80 gets shut down for hours because there's gunplay on the highway, so the cops got to get out there and reenact and stuff. So now you got a traffic jam, you got people sitting there honking, yelling, what's going on? Why are we out here? Meanwhile, the investigators are there trying to piece together what happened. It's like a collision triggered a spontaneous Die Hard movie or something. I don't know what's going on out there. And let's not forget the news coverage, because you saw it on the news, right?
Yeah, it was just on, yeah.
And the anchors are all serious. They're furrowed, like the brows furrowed. This epic battle. Oh, breaking news. I-80 East has become the Thunderdome. Two drivers enter. No one leaves unless they have a valid Easy Pass.
Well, I know. They were on 80.
Yeah.
It's on a toll road.
All right, look, fine. Don't get all persnickety with the details for the sake of a joke here. Next time you're stuck in traffic, just remember this as a cautionary tale, okay? You don't know what the other people are going to do. Keep your road rage in check, because when you're armed with anger and the highway becomes your personal war zone, nobody wants to see you reenact Mad Max Fury Road during rush hour. It's time for a little fun on the phones at Northeast PA's Classic Rock, Rock 107. Good morning, I'm Prospector, and I called a fast food restaurant where I know the manager, one of the managers, and I wanted to prank the other manager. I talked to my friend who works there, and I said, I want to do this call where I blame them from getting into an accident. And he's like, yeah, go ahead, and told me when to call when somebody else would be on staff. So I call, and I tell them it's their fault I got into an accident. It's another Prospector prank call on Rock 107.
Thank you for calling. This is Tracy. How can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to speak to the manager, please.
This is her.
Okay. I have a real issue. I got in an accident last night, and I would like it if I could talk to I guess you about getting the damages on my car taken care of because I believe it was your fault at the restaurant for what happened.
You had an accident here last night at the restaurant?
It wasn't at the restaurant. It was on the freeway.
Okay.
So
how does that pertain to us?
I'm getting to that. If you give me a second. All right. What happened was.
Okay.
Okay. What happened was I came through your drive-thru last night and I upgraded the meal. I bought the supersize. I guess that comes with tomato and lettuce and mayo. I got to tell you something. I don't know who does your mayo control, but there was way too much mayo on my burger. So let me tell you what happened. I get the supersize. I pull out just like everybody else. I make it to the freeway, and by then I've eaten all the fries. So I pull out the supersized sandwich, and I unwrap it, and the first bite I take, it's like a humongous glob of mayo right in my lap. All right? I mean, it's like it's smeared on my face, it's in my hand, but the biggest glob of the mayo lands in my lap, and it's getting on the seat.
Yeah,
you follow what I'm saying?
That's our problem. You're actually...
All right, I haven't... Hold on, I haven't gotten to the good part yet.
Okay.
Okay, so then I'm trying to get a napkin out of my console, and I get a napkin out, and I'm going to... Is this funny?
No, sir. It was a sneeze. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so what happens is I go to wipe off my face, but it's all over my hands, so I'm trying to wipe it off of my hands. I'm using my knees to steer just for a second because we're going straight. And next thing you know, I got to grab the steering wheel. But now I've got mayo on the steering wheel, and it's time for me to get off the freeway. And right about then...
I do apologize, sir. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm kind of...
Okay, what happened? Because of all the mayo, what happened was...
That's our fault. I mean, we didn't tell you to eat while you drive.
Why do you give it to people in the car if they're not supposed to do that? Huh?
While you drive, you know.
I think you shouldn't be giving people that much mayo on their burger. And
it's
so
convenient, so you don't have to get out. But you usually supposed to wait till you get home. That's not our fault, sir. I'm sorry.
Well, I didn't know. I mean, how am I supposed to know? I didn't know it was going to come with a cup of freaking mayo. That's way too much.
Well, next time order light mayo or no mayo.
I ended up getting it on my windshield, and when I hit the wipers, then it like blurred out the whole windshield, and I ended up running into a truck.
Okay, well, I apologize for anything that happened. It's really not our fault, so I don't know what to do, but I'm so glad you're okay.
I didn't say it was okay. I didn't say it was okay. My car got damaged, and now I can't go to work.
Well, you need to learn how to eat and drive at the same time. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, you need to not have so much mayo all over the place. It's all over my car, and ended up getting in a car wreck, and you're not going to pay for any of this?
How about this? Future reference. Order the mayo on the side, because that's all I can help you with, sir. I do apologize, but I got to go.
So nothing. So I get nothing, right?
You get my sincere apologies that you can't drive while you eat, and I apologize, but I don't know what to tell you.
Wow. Really?
Because it's not our fault, sir. Yeah.
Do you want me to sue? Do I got to get a lawyer?
No, but if it's anything like you're driving, I wish you luck.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I guess you'll see from my lawyer.
I'm so sorry. Try not to call back while you're driving, and you're going
to talk to my lawyer. You know the law firm of Prosse, and Prospector?
Wait, what?
Tracy, before you go, let me just tell you, it's a prank call. It's not real.
Oh, my gosh. I ain't got time for this. Oh, my Lord.
It's a prank call. It's a Prospector prank call. You didn't hear my law firm, Prosse, and Prospector? You're on Rock 107 right now.
Okay, joke's on me. Joke's on you. Don't eat while you drive. Oh, Lord.
Life's pretty tough right now. There's plenty of bad news, but it's not all bad. It's time for the brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
America's oldest living person just celebrated another birthday. Elizabeth Francis lives in Houston and turned 115 last week. She was born in 1909. That's 5 years before the start of World War I. She credits her good health to her faith and the fact that she's never smoked. Her advice to young people is don't be afraid to speak up. She says, speak your mind, don't hold your tongue.
Thanks. We needed that. The brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
What are you gold medal good at? It's Prospector Show on Rock 107. And Kate, I don't know about you. I've done some athletic stuff. I wrestled. I played football in high school. I've been a cyclist for 30-some years. None of those are getting me any kind of medals at all. I'm lucky if I get a participation trophy in them. But I'll tell you what. I can quote Looney Tunes all day long, man. Deep cartoons.
I do find that impressive. You'll name a character, and I have no idea who it is.
What if I'm just making them up?
That's the thing.
You never know.
How would I know?
How about you? What are you gold medal good at?
Remembering character names in television shows. Like all of the Game of Thrones characters that all have weird names, I know them all.
She's like an IMDb when you're watching TV. Kate just has the answers for you. With the Olympics happening right now, we just want to know, what are you gold medal good at? Got one from Open Mic on the Rock 107 app.
Spotting the same car as mine. You know what I mean? The same year, make, and model. I can spot them a mile away.
That's called recency bias.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You have that car, all of a sudden you see it everywhere.
I see it everywhere. I see my car everywhere, too. Guy on Facebook.com/Angry Prospector said, driving like a lunatic in New York City rush hour traffic and emerging without a dent or scratch.
Okay.
That is impressive. I live there. It's a lot.
New York is tough.
Christina on Facebook.com/Kait Rock107 said, finding everything in our home my husband can't. Yeah, that is a superpower.
I feel you on that, because I will be like, where is this? And my wife will be like, I don't know. And I'll be like, Tara, come on, where is it? Then I'll find it 20 minutes later. She'll be like, yeah, you idiot, where'd you put it? I'm going to go, put it over there. Bob in Hanover on the Rock Lines. The Olympics are happening. What are you gold medal good at, dude?
I'm a heavy metal fisherman. I love trout fishing. I'm out right now.
And how does heavy metal enter into it?
I got you playing on the radio right next to me.
So you got the music cranked up. You're not afraid it's going to scare off the fish?
No.
I thought that was a big deal. Like you could actually, make too much noise and the fish would go away.
Yeah. My father used to tell me that all the time. Yeah. Steve on Instagram.com/Kait_Rock107 said, knowing which episode of MASH is playing by the first 5 seconds, which is impressive because they all look the same to me.
No, so many great MASH episodes. And of course, it was on like in the afternoons of TV all the time as I was a kid. I think Channel 22 had it for like decades.
Melissa on Facebook.com/Angry Prospector said, bargain finding, getting free stuff, and great parking spots appearing right when I need them.
Lucky you. That is not happening for me. What are you gold medal good at? Brian from Shavertown on the Rock Line.
I'm gold medal good at procrastination.
And yet you didn't put off calling us to tell us.
Well, I got to brag.
I guess he's not procrastinating when it comes to bragging.
Yeah, he was pretty quick to tell us. Steven on Facebook.com/Angry Prospector said, recognizing any actor and which other movies they've been in.
And we want to know, what are you gold medal good at?
Ladies and gentlemen, grab the kids, call your neighbors, and gather round the radio.
It's now time to announce the winner of Prospector's Jam Bag of the Day, as decided by you at rock107.com.
We uncover the most baffling, ridiculous, pathetic, cockeyed, laughable, preposterous blunders in the world of misdeeds. Nominee number 1.
People get frustrated with airport security, but let's face it, they've got plenty of nonsense to be frustrated with, too. Last week, a 43-year-old man flew from the Netherlands to the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, where security found a bunch of drugs in his bags. He had more than 12 pounds of ketamine in both liquid and powdered form, nearly 2 pounds of codeine, and 3 ounces of GHB. He was arrested. He later posted bail and headed back to the same airport with plans to travel to London. And guess what he brought with him? Security stopped him from boarding a flight when they found drugs in his checked bag, more than a half pound of ketamine. We're assuming the first drugs were confiscated so that these were new drugs, but I'm not sure. The man is now facing new charges under Washington state law for possession with the intent to distribute ketamine.
Nominee number 2.
This guy might just win the award for most boneheaded move of the year. Picture this, at 4 p.m., July 23rd, and Zachariah Roselle from Moscow, PA is riding his bicycle down Hyde Park Avenue in West Scranton, minding his own business, I guess. However, Scranton police were nearby, and when Zachariah noticed them, he started weaving into several driveways without using hand turn signals, which of course is illegal on a bicycle. So the police flipped on the lights and sirens, pulled up next to him, and opened the door for a conversation. Instead of stopping and maybe talking his way out of a ticket, Zachariah did what any dim-witted fugitive would do. He bolted. Now, possibly that's because he knew there was a warrant out for his arrest. Officers gave chase, and despite his best efforts to outrun them on a bicycle, they eventually caught up to him. One of the officers managed to grab hold of his backpack and bring him to the ground, and that's when the chase finally ended. Officers looked inside Zachariah's backpack, and they found syringes, which he admitted were intended for injecting methamphetamine. So not only was he wanted for absconding from a court-ordered rehab facility, which was what that warrant was for, but he was also carrying drug paraphernalia. He was charged with flight to avoid apprehension, escape, and possession of drug paraphernalia.
And the winner is...
the man who was arrested for having drugs in his luggage twice in 1 week at the same airport. You are the Yam Bag of the Day. And we'll move on to Friday's Yam Bag of the Week competition. Keep it here for all the nominees for Prospector's Yam Bag of the Day, weekday mornings on Rock 107. Thanks for listening to Prospector's Prime Cuts podcast. Be sure to catch us live weekdays from 5:30 to 10 a.m. on Rock 107 or online at rock107.com or the Rock 107 app. A free download for your Android or iPhone. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss Prospector's Prime Cuts.